Peace and blessings. Happy Monday. I am the Moon Mama, and today is the day that the moon governs. Before I talk about that, I would love to invite you to register for the Saturn retrograde class. I'm going to talk about that right now a little bit just because the moon is in a square with Saturn today. So the moon in Taurus is in a square with Saturn in Aquarius. And when I woke up this morning, when I opened my eyes, I usually wake up at I woke up this morning, and I guess it was about 4:15, like my alarm actually went off, which is not something that always is the case. And I woke up and I check in to see how I feel. And I felt this profound heaviness, this profound density. And immediately it was almost like I felt like, oh, and I said to myself, I just watched my body, and then I realized I need to go empty my bladder. And then I was like, don't make up a story about it. Just feel what you feel. And what I felt was like a heaviness. And here's the thing, we're in an eclipse wormhole that we are about to move into the dark of the moon, which is the moon before we move into the new moon phase is the dark of the moon. We are in a Mercury retrograde, we are in a Saturn retrograde, and we are in a Pluto retrograde. We have Mars in opposition to Pluto, and Mercury is in retrograde, and it has been in a square with Neptune. So all of these energies are the best word I could think of is just creates a lot of chaos, right? And so when I experience this, the thing for me that I do is I batten down the hatchets, right? Like I do more meditation, I do more prayer work, I make sure that I'm working with my rituals, I listen more. I give myself more of what I need, and I watch myself. Like I'm watchful not to be fully inundated with stories, because one of the things that I'm aware of for myself right now is that with all of these energies going on, what I want to do is tell a story, and we all do because the sun is in Gemini. So the sun in Gemini will have us cast a story, a net around the feelings that we're having. So the work is to actually either don't cast a story about it, don't do it, or if you're going to do it, cast a story of joy, of gratitude, of blessings. And so one of the things for me is that Saturn will bring up karmic stuff. So I can feel like my karmic experiences with people. And I feel like because we're in our Pluto's return in America, a lot of timelines are collapsing right now. So, maybe, we've had timelines where we have been an oppressor, or we've had timelines where we have been, all sorts of characters, right? That's what it is. We lived many lifetimes, and we've carried many identities. So I can feel the energies of these timelines coming up inside of me. And it feels like, so I have karmic love relationships. So where in a past life, we had some sort of relationship that felt romantic, and maybe it ended painfully. And now I'm connected with these energies or these souls in this lifetime. It's not romantic, but the pain is still there, right? It's not romantic, but it shows up as something else. So I've been doing the work to really just cut those cords, to release karmic ties, relationships that are anchored in karmic ties, that are anchored in trauma or heartbreak or pain. I release them from this lifetime or any during this retrograde cycle, because the retrograde means that the stories are being released. So I'm releasing fear. I'm releasing, fear of being seen. I'm releasing fear of connection. I'm releasing, fear of abandonment. I'm releasing all of these fears because they're connected to old, outdated relationships and karmic patterns that are no longer present in this reality. So it's like I'm a 9. So like learn what your numerology is. I'm a 9, so this lifetime for me is a completion in a lot of cycles. And so I know that. So I'm doing the work to release that. And it feels heavy. Like, so today I'm going to do a water fast. I'm going to do water and fruit juice. And I'm not going to be eating any food because I want to use this eclipse time, this retrograde time, to move things out that no longer serve me. So the moon today, when I checked, was at the 15th degree of Taurus. The moon in Taurus is about our senses. It's about how do you feel. It's about your self-esteem, your value, your relationship to money and how you make money. Like I said, the moon is square Taurus, and the moon is also somewhere near Uranus. It's not, I don't think it's conjunct Uranus anymore. Maybe it was yesterday. So there's a lot of, the moon square Taurus will create, and Taurus is retrograde in Aquarius. It really is because Saturn in Aquarius is your identity in community, in friends, in relationships, like your blueprint, your God-given identity. And then are you able to be yourself in relationship to others? Like, I know for me, I have a tendency to lose myself. It can be with friends. I don't do it as much anymore, but definitely with lovers. Like, so if I had a lover, whatever was going on with him is where my life would go, So now I'm in this experience. Last night I was talking to a friend of mine who is someone that I have a lot of deep intimacy with. And I've gotten to the place where I can just be like they talk about themselves a lot. And I actually love it because they're entertaining and it's funny and all of that. But I can now say, I don't want to spend this much time talking about you. I can just be like, I don't want to talk about you for 30 minutes, or I don't want to talk about you anymore. In the past, I would just do it, or I would be frustrated. Now I just go, I don't want to do that. And he's like, oh, well, we have a new covenant, so here's what we'll do. But in the past, I would give myself over. So this moon with the moon square Saturn is, are you authentic? Are you true to yourself in relationships with others? Or do you collapse? Do you ignore what's really going on with you? Or are you able to be yourself in relationship to others? If you have a hard time doing this Saturn retrograde class is great for you. The classes are starting slower just because the retrograde energy is present. And so I have not gotten all of the tools up and made available. But the Saturn retrograde is about you coming home to yourself and being true to yourself. And with the moon square Saturn, it's really we're having experiences in real time where we cannot continue to reject ourselves for the participation or another, or to be liked by another. You can't put yourself away in order to have the approval of another. And then also the Pluto retrograde that's also happening now is about, it's about your authority. So it's really, you can't give your authority away any longer easily. It will cause pain for you. So for those of us who are doing the work to reacclimate ourselves or take our power back, it's new, so it feels uncomfortable because it's not, it's a new energy that we're activating again. And then Mercury's in retrograde, right? So Mercury retrograde is the new story that you're telling, right? So the new story that I am telling is that I am true to myself, I love myself, and I celebrate the things that I need to do, even the difficult things. I was having a conversation with someone on Instagram, Lisa, and she was saying we can do the hard things, and I'm like, yes, fuck, we can do the hard things. So this time right now is not easy. It is challenging. It is not for the faint of heart. If you are not committed to your healing work and your healing journey, this could be a time that feels, confusing or like really dark, and that's okay. But you can just make a deeper commitment to yourself through love, through deep love for yourself. So with that, you all, the moon today is in Taurus. The moon is the energy that governs our internal reality, our internal world. The moon governs the mother. The moon governs the water. The moon governs, how we are, like I said, in Taurus, it's how we feel about ourselves. It is our self-esteem, right? So just track how you are feeling about yourself today. Track if you're telling victim stories at all, just see what that's about. Like if you're like in a story that somebody's done something to you, or, it could be not a person, it could be an experience, it could be around money. And then you get to just look at it in a deeper way and just ask, what's my true value here? How can I access a new frequency around my value and who I am and how I show up? How can I love myself more profoundly? With that, you all, I am the Moon Mama. I love you all, and just get yourself ready for this new moon in Gemini that's coming. All right, peace and blessings. I'm the Moon Mama. Bye-bye.